When the system fails, the revolutionary rise of Black women who bet on themselves. Have you ever stood at a crossroads where the world told you no, but something deep inside whispered, try anyway? I recently had the extraordinary privilege of interviewing CaTyra Polland, a visionary whose insights illuminate one of the most powerful yet underreported economic revolutions happening in America today. CaTyra isn't just an observer of this movement, she's a catalyst within it, dedicating her life to amplifying voices that have been systematically silenced. Her work has transformed how we understand entrepreneurship in marginalized communities, creating ripples of change that extend far beyond business into the very fabric of American society. What she shared reveals a profound truth. Sometimes, when systems fail us, the most revolutionary act is to build our own. The numbers tell a story that's both troubling and triumphant. Between 2017 and 2024, Black women have launched businesses at rates outpacing every other demographic in America. This explosion of entrepreneurship isn't happening because the path is easy, it's happening precisely because the traditional path has been blocked. Think about this: despite Black women achieving some of the highest education levels in America, they remain dramatically underrepresented in C suite positions. Despite demonstrating exceptional business acumen, they receive just a fraction of venture capital funding, less than 1% of all VC dollars. The system, as designed, continues to fail them, and yet they rise. As CaTyra explained during our conversation, this isn't just about starting businesses. It's about redefining what success looks like when nobody offers you a seat at their table. When you've been told no enough times, she said, you stop asking for permission and start creating your own reality. Consider Jasmine Rose, founder of Tea Rose Nashville. When Jasmine first envisioned creating wellness teas inspired by her cultural heritage, she encountered skepticism about market demand. People literally laughed. She told CaTyra. They said nobody would pay premium prices for tea with ethnic flavors. She struggled to access traditional funding sources, with one loan officer suggesting she tone down the cultural elements to appeal to a wider audience. The message was clear: the established system didn't believe in her vision, but Jasmine believed in herself. Instead of abandoning her dream, she pivoted her approach. She launched grassroots marketing campaigns. She showed up at local events with pop up shops, sometimes in the rain, sometimes when only three people stopped by her table. She built community relationships by sharing the story behind her brand's mission, how these teas connected to her grandmother's healing traditions, traditions that had sustained communities when formal healthcare was inaccessible. Today, Tea Rose Nashville stands as a testament to what happens when you bet on yourself despite the odds. Her company has become a fixture at local markets with growing online sales. More importantly, she's inspired other entrepreneurs from marginalized backgrounds in Tennessee by demonstrating that success is possible without waiting for permission from gatekeepers. This pattern repeats itself across the country. Malia Bass and Barry Segovia, co founders of Rolled Forever Ice Cream, faced similar challenges: limited startup capital, lack of mentorship networks specific to food entrepreneurs of color, regulatory hurdles during pandemic restrictions. Their response: doubled down on quality customer service, create social media campaigns specifically targeting underserved audiences hungry for representation in food entrepreneurship. When supply chain disruptions and fluctuating demand threatened their business, they demonstrated remarkable adaptability, pivoting without quitting. We had a choice, Bari told CaTyra. We could fold when things got tough, or we could get creative. We chose creativity because giving up wasn't an option, not just for us, but for everyone watching us, wondering if they could do it too. What's particularly striking about their story is the motivation behind it. Both founders had established careers outside hospitality, but chose entrepreneurship as a means of creating something the system hadn't offered them: generational wealth and space to thrive on their own terms. Today, Roll Forever Ice Cream operates at multiple locations throughout Nashville and has earned regional recognition for innovation within minority owned food ventures. Their journey shows that resilience paired with creativity yields tangible results, even when traditional support systems are absent. These aren't isolated success stories, they're part of a nationwide movement. Nearly 2.7 million businesses in the United States are now owned by Black women, generating over $60 billion annually. This growth hasn't happened because the playing field suddenly leveled. It's happened despite a playing field that remains dramatically tilted. The statistics are sobering. Black women owned businesses have grown by over 40% since 2017, yet only about 15% report making a profit comparable to their white counterparts. Female founded startups receive just 7% of global venture capital. Black women entrepreneurs specifically receive less than 1%. When CaTyra shared these realities during our interview, what struck me wasn't just the disparity, it was the determination that has emerged in response to it. Black women entrepreneurs aren't waiting for systems to change, they're building new systems. Necessity is the mother of invention, CaTyra explained, but resilience is the mother of revolution. These women aren't just building businesses, they're reconstructing the very definition of success. Many launch these ventures not from a place of privilege, but from necessity, transforming what began as survival mechanisms into engines for community empowerment. They're redefining what it means to make it, achieving remarkable growth rates while shattering stereotypes about who leads successful enterprises. The impact extends far beyond individual balance sheets. When Black professionals bet on themselves, they create economic opportunities that ripple through communities. They establish legacies that empower future generations. They demonstrate that perseverance can drive broader societal change. This movement reshapes our national understanding of leadership potential among marginalized groups and establishes new standards for what resilience looks like within American business culture. It challenges us to reconsider who we view as innovators and what pathways to success we recognize as valid. But let's be clear, celebrating this resilience doesn't excuse the systemic barriers that necessitate it. The fact that Black women must work harder, pivot more frequently, and demonstrate extraordinary determination to achieve what others might reach through more direct paths remains a profound injustice. As CaTyra emphasized, acknowledging these entrepreneurs' strength shouldn't distract us from addressing the conditions that make such strength necessary. We can simultaneously applaud their achievements while working towards systems that distribute opportunity more equitably. What lessons can we all learn from this revolution? First, betting on yourself is a powerful act of resilience. Trust your vision. Even when you need to pivot or change direction, don't give up entirely. The entrepreneurs we've discussed didn't succeed by following straight lines, they succeeded by refusing to accept final defeat. Second, challenges are real, but so is your power to overcome them. The path forward rarely looks like what you initially imagine. Success often requires adaptation, creativity, and persistence through multiple iterations. Third, your journey can inspire change beyond yourself. When you persist despite obstacles, you create possibility models for others. You demonstrate what's achievable even when conventional wisdom suggests otherwise. I'm reminded of something CaTyra shared during our conversation. When the system fails you, you have two choices: accept the failure as your own or recognize it as the system's failure and build something better. That perspective shifts everything. It transforms victimhood into agency. It converts systemic barriers from endpoints into starting points for innovation. Consider this: what if the detours, obstacles, and closed doors in your path aren't signs to stop, but invitations to forge new routes? What if the very systems that weren't designed for your success become the catalyst for your most meaningful contributions? The entrepreneurs we've discussed today didn't succeed because the path was clear. They succeeded because when they found the path block, they created new ones. They didn't wait for permission or perfect conditions. They started where they were with what they had and built from there. Their stories remind us that sometimes our greatest innovations emerge not from ideal circumstances, but from necessity, from the determination to create what doesn't yet exist but urgently needs to. So I challenge you today: identify one area where you've doubted your own ability or consider it giving up. Commit not necessarily to never pivoting, but to refusing outright defeat. Write down one action you'll take towards your goal, regardless of obstacles ahead, because the truth is we all face systems that weren't designed with us in mind in some aspect of our lives. We all encounter moments when conventional paths seem closed to us. The question isn't whether we'll face such barriers, it's how we'll respond when we do. Will we accept limitation as the final word? Or will we, like the remarkable entrepreneurs CaTyra introduced us to, bet on ourselves even when others won't? This isn't just about business. It's about reclaiming your power in a world that too often tries to define your limits. It's about recognizing that sometimes the most revolutionary act is to simply continue, to persist when everything and everyone suggests you should stop. The next time someone tells you it can't be done, remember Jasmine Rose serving tea in the rain. Remember Malia and Bari reimagining their business model during a global pandemic. Remember the 2.7 million Black women who chose to forge ahead despite the odds. Then ask yourself, what world might we create if we all had the courage to bet on ourselves with such unwavering conviction? What systems might we transform? What futures might we build? The answer begins with you today, refusing to accept no as the final word on your potential. It begins with recognizing that your persistence isn't just about your success. It's an act of revolution that creates possibility for others. Now go build something better. The world is waiting.